Welcome all my crafty friends. This is Donna with My Artastic Life, and I'm here to introduce you to Stampin' Up. I am a brand new demonstrator for Stampin' Up, and I am so excited to bring you my first tutorial using the Wonderland Stamp Set. This is an absolutely awesome stamp set that you can do so much with. And today we're going to be making a Christmas card that looks something like this with a few changes. You will need 2 pieces of very vanilla cardstock cut at 3.5 by 5. This is going to be your inside and your very top mat. You will also need 1 piece of Smoky Slate cut at 4 by 5.25, and then you will need 1 piece of soft suede 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4.25. And the final piece you will need is 1 piece of scrap, very vanilla, and this piece here is about 1 inch by 4 inches. So to get started today, I'm going to take one of my very vanilla here, and we're going to be using Crumb Cake stamp pad. I love these stamp pads. They're very easy to open. They just flip back and slide up. I'm using one of the Stampin' Up sponges, and we're just going to dab, get some of that ink on there, and start going around our edges here. Just want to give it a nice border with that crumb cake. If you mess up, because I don't care for that, it's not a big deal. You can always flip it over and start again, because there's always 2 sides. As you can see, I got ink on my fingers, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this one over and start again. Nice varnished edge here. Just pull it out. Keep going around all of your edges. That's okay. Not to worry about that. This is just a demonstration to show you what we're going to get. That'll get covered up with our sentiment at the end. So I'm not too worried about that. So we have that piece done there. I still have ink on my sponge. I'm going to go ahead and do the edges of my sentiment. Set that piece aside for now. So I'm going to stamp our tree stamp here from the Wonderland set. I'm just going to place it on our acrylic block, like so. And today we're using Mossy Meadow, another wonderful ink. I really like this color. And it's very easy. We're just going to blot it, make sure we got lots of ink on the stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp off the edge of this slightly at first. Stamp it once, pull it off, and then before I blot again, I'm going to do a background stamp, raising it just slightly, and do one in the center. to give it a lighter touch. That shows that the trees are in the background, a little faded out. I'm going to stamp it up one more time, ink it up. Lots of ink on that baby. We're just going to stamp off slightly off the edge of this one as well. So 1, 2, 3 stamps, very easy. I'm stamping up. Put this ink aside. And I'm going to use the Archival Basic Black ink to stamp my sentiment. Make sure I'm facing the right way. And this sentiment is going right on top of our scrap paper, right in the center here. We have Silent Night. Now I'm ready to do my inside sentiment stamping. I'm using our wonderful corner punch here, and I'm going to use this design here. So we're just going to stick each end in and give it a nice little punch around those corners. A little easier to do it sitting on the table. Punches very nicely. Just fit your corners in, press down. Very nice piece. Now if you like, you can ink this piece up as well, which I actually think I'm going to do this time. And I'll just grab that sponge once again, dab it up a little more, and just do my edges. I'm far from professional in doing any type of videos or tutorials. This is actually my very first tutorial for Stampin' Up. But you know what matters is I'm having fun doing it. One other thing while I have the ink out, and I'm probably not going in a normal order of doing this, but I'd like to just kind of cut a slit in the center here and do a banner cut on the edges here for my sentiment. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink that banner edge up so it blends in perfectly here. And if you cut a slit in the center and then just cut to each side, you'll have almost a perfect bannered edge. So just ink that up, make it look even and nice. Now what I did on this piece, I like to make it look like it has some snow falling and some snow on the trees. And I take a white gel marker, and on this one I'm just going to kind of dab it around the tips and branches of the tree, giving it a light white coating. This gives the illusion of snow on the branches. You can also do this with, if you have a Versamark marker and your Stampin' Up! Embossing powder. That works really nice too, but for time's sake, I'm just gonna quickly go through this, and we'll just ink up the edges. And so you don't have to tediously watch me, even though I'm going fairly quick. This doesn't take a lot of time. I'm going to pause the video here, and then I'll be back when it's done. Now I've taken my white Stampin' Up! Pad, now that I've gone over all the leaves with the white gel pen or branches just to give it an illusion of snow. I'm taking the snowflake stamp out of the same Woodland set, and I've inked it up with white ink. I'm just going to go around and stamp randomly. You probably won't be able to see much of it in the video, but I'm just giving it snowflakes. On my original sample, I believe I used the Sahara sand as my background, and it showed up a little bit better over the white did over that than the Very Vanilla. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video or not. It does show up. Since that ink stays wet for a little while, what we can do is take our Stampin' Up! Emboss powder. This is the Iridescent Ice. I think this will be very nice over it to give it just a little bit of shimmer. As you can see, this is the first brand new bottle that I'm using. And just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Always put a scrap piece of paper underneath you. Sprinkle that all over. You can even get it on those trees where you put the ink. And it's going to stick to everything, giving your page a pretty shimmer. And just take our heat gun here. Turn that off. That just, I don't know if you can see in the video. Oh yes, you can. That just dazzles that right up. It gives a beautiful effect here. Love it. So what you can do now is take your scrap paper. I should have folded it first. I always like to fold it in half. It makes it much easier to pour right back in because we don't want any waste. Set that aside, put the lid back on, and we're ready to do our final sentiment. And I'm just going to take my inside panel here, and I'm going to go ahead and ink it back up with archival ink. Put this bad boy back up. Ink our sentiment. Make sure when you look at it, make sure there's ink covering all of the words. And I'm just going to position this in the center, closer to the top actually. And I'm just going to press down. And if you hold it a little bit longer, that gives it time for the ink to sink in. Okay, now we're done with all of our stamping and we're ready to start assembling our card. So what I like to do is start with our sentiment and our inside message to go ahead and put that in, and I'm just using our Fast Fuse adhesive tape. Sorry about that, I was having a little bit of trouble with my glue tape, but I have it all on the back now, and we're just going to center this inside of our card. Just give it a good rub down. There's our inside sentiment. Now we're ready to put on our matting in the slate, Smoky slate. And I'm just going to go ahead and get my adhesive on here as well. You could also use liquid glue, but a lot of times for me, this is just quicker. A little glue on my pad here. And we're just going to center this here. Put it down. Now we're ready to place our beautiful little picture on top. Fast Fuse is not working today. I'm thinking maybe one of my little monsters might have gotten into it. Ah, there it goes. You can also use the snail that Stampin' Up! Sells. It's also a great product. We'll just center this one as well. And that one's a little off. Reset best we can. And then for our outside sentiment, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we'll just pop these on the back. Probably use 3 of them. Okay, and we are ready to add on our final piece after the Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to peel these little backs off. And I like to let it go over the edge just slightly. And here is our finished card. This is just beautiful. I love the sparkles in the background. And open it up. All is calm, all is bright. Thank you for watching. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to assist you. My name is Donna Richard, and I will list my store link where you can find all of these Stampin' Up! Products in the information box below. Thanks again. If you like this video and want to see more demonstrations, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.